Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and as you can see, I have a new intro. So exciting. My husband worked until like 3 in the morning doing this. Yeah, he custom made the logo. You guys would not believe. I know it looks like it's not custom made, but I assure you, it is custom made. That little ring thing, I've seen him do that maybe 10 times. I've seen him do it like 10 times, and he finally found something and we both like it, and yeah, so it's pretty exciting. So if you guys don't know already, I do record on my phone, and it is Android. It's not an iPhone, but we do have an iPad in our house that pretty much just sits around. So we figured to learn, well, not him, but more me, to learn how to use iMovie, and I have an app that I'm able to transfer any of my files from Android over to iMovie. So I'm still learning, you guys. Eventually I am gonna get a camera, I am gonna get some lights, because our office in the room, the extra room we're using as an office, is already painted. We just have to get our desk and everything, but you know, baby stuff is more important. So yeah, let me know how I did down below. I did edit this on iMovie, so I'm hoping it came out good, because knowing me, I probably won't put it out, but then again, I really don't care, so I probably will. So I'm trying, guys. You know, eventually I will be an iPhone person, but right now I'm just trying to test the waters with the iPad. So, you know, fingers crossed. But enough about that. As you can see from the title below, this is going to be the story time that I promised you guys on why we don't have the puppies anymore. And this is pretty much took place on my birthday weekend that just recently happened, and why I was so sad and distraught and going off on Snapchat about it's the worst birthday weekend ever, whatever. But I wanted to do like a get ready with me story time. So as you can see, my face is super bare. I've been bare for God knows how long with you guys. I just haven't been feeling the best putting my makeup on or anything. But today I'm going to put my makeup on and talk to you guys on what happened. I will list down below all the makeup that I've been using, that I'm going to be using for my face. I will try to list brushes, because some of them I don't remember where they're from. But I will list all the makeup that I use for my face and whatnot. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I normally wear glasses, so this is probably going to be a little difficult for me, so just bear with me. I have my huge mirror right here. I'm going to be looking right here while doing my makeup, and I promise I will try my best. I know the lighting probably sucks here. Again, it's not really about my makeup, it's the story that I want to explain to you guys. I did, however, already do my eyebrows. I wasn't going to record that because that's not that great, and it takes me quite a long time. So let's see, how did this story start? You guys should already know that the story of how I found the puppies, and if you don't, go ahead and watch that just so you can have somewhat of a backstory on pretty much the puppies in general, of who exactly I'm talking about and whatnot. But if you are caught up, then this happened the Saturday after my birthday. So my birthday was April 26th, and this happened on April 27th. So this was like literally just happened. Another thing that happened, oh god, I just ate that. So on my birthday, my husband was supposed to get clearance to be able to spend it with me. His boss had told him that most likely he would be able to get clearance to spend the time off the base, but however, due to circumstances, he couldn't. So this is where everything gets kind of, I was already in a bad mood because I literally didn't get to spend that much time with him. He did wake me up, however, around 2 in the morning on my actual birthday when he came in from work from the Thursday night. And so he couldn't find flowers. He was very upset about that. He couldn't find anything that he was looking for. But he woke me up with chips because he knew me being pregnant, I would wake up hungry. Which that part, babe, that was spot on. Okay. And then we spent somewhat of the morning together. Things were just going wrong on my birthday. Everything was just going horrible. And yeah, so that pretty much summed up my birthday. Yes, I used 2 foundations. I have to because my face is ridiculous right now. Now, the next day, we had planned to go to, what is it called? Anyways, we planned to go hiking, and we still went hiking. However, this is where the turn of events happened. So I tell my husband, you know, he's going outside to clean out his bag, this big bag that he got while he was in the military. I think it was during BMT, if I'm not mistaken. So he's going out there to clean out his bag and get it ready so we can put all of our snacks, and we're gonna have a picnic or whatnot. And he takes out Gabe, my big dog, and the little puppies with him. Now the neighbors from behind us, they see the puppies running around with Gabe, and they're just like, hold on. So the woman asks my husband, where did you find those puppies? Just straight up, where did you find those puppies? And my husband said, we found them. And he explained to her and everything, and she was just like, those are my puppies. Already rude. The funny thing about it, guys, is we tried to get their attention the day we found them. I don't know if I mentioned this in the story, I can't remember. And they pretty much ignored us. So we thought that they found the third puppy. Apparently these puppies were theirs. So she's, yelling like, those are my puppies. And my husband's telling her, we've had them for almost 2 months now, and you now decided to look for them. Like, they were outside dehydrated and whatnot, and you just now decided it was the perfect time to look for them. So he was upset, she got upset, and went inside the house. And this is where everything went to shits. She literally must have went inside and complained to her husband and the husband's brother. So now they're coming outside. First it was the husband comes out. The husband's brother comes out and explains to him that, those are their puppies. They spent like $300 on these puppies, and they have pictures to prove it. So my husband said, I understand that these might be your puppies, but I need documentation proving, because I found these puppies outside. They were in the heat. They almost died. They didn't look like they were outside for only a little bit. The woman claimed that they were only outside for an hour. That she opened up the gate for the puppies to be outside, left for an hour, and they escaped. You know what the real kicker here, guys, is? Those puppies were only 4 weeks old. 4 weeks old, and you left them outside. And I don't know if any of you have been to South Carolina, but the heat out here is insane. I wouldn't even leave my big dog out there for an hour in a day that it was that hot. So you left 4-week-old puppies outside. I don't buy it. And on top of it, they only had them for 3 days. It was their 3rd day of owning these puppies. I was just like, what? That makes no sense. You can't even take care of a puppy. You only had it for 3 days and you already lost them. The husband now comes and he's cussing up a storm. The brother's trying to calm down the husband and he's just not having it. He's cussing up a storm, saying the N-word this, N-word that, because everybody out here thinks that my husband is black, which is fine. I have nothing racist against that. And he's just cussing up a storm, saying, you know, and this and that. Those are my dogs, those are my kids' dogs, and then the kids get involved. Oh my Lord, what was that for? He brought the kids involved. That's where I draw the line. Your kids should not be anywhere near confrontation, any problems. And now the kids are pretty much like giving my husband the guilt trip, like, sir, those are our dogs, like, look at the pictures. And it's like, you can have pictures, those were probably their dogs. Well, they are, now we realize they are. However, you waited almost 2 months. I mean, we were deciding to bring them to the SPCA when we first got them. What were you gonna do in those 2 months? Why did you now just realize these were your puppies? These weren't the first time that we brought them outside. I'll tell you guys that. And that's what pissed me off the most, is this was not the first time we brought them outside, but this was the first time they realized that we had the puppies. And I was just like, oh man, guys, I was so upset. I'm trying to see if this is better. The lighting pretty much sucks in here, guys. I'm sorry, but like I said, it's not about the makeup, it's about the story. So, after all that happened, you know, the guy goes, I'm calling the cops because you can't take my dogs. I spent money on them. And he's just swearing up a storm. The whole time I'm in the phone with my best friend. And like I said, he's just swearing up a storm. And my husband's out there and he's like, you know what? I want you to call the cops. I'm going to stay out. I'm going to stay here while you call the cops. And, you know, because there's no need for hostility. There's no need for you to go all crazy and start cussing up a storm in front of your kids like that. And sure enough, he called the cops. Mind you, we were literally on our way to go. So now this was taking probably like a good hour and a half. So we had to wait for the cops to get there. The cop got there, just one cop. Oh my Lord, the cop gets there and the guy decides that he wants to act all nice in front of the cop. The woman finally comes outside from the house and starts talking proper, you guys. Starts talking proper after they were just saying and this and that, swearing up a storm, saying F this, F that. Like, it was just like, now you guys want to talk proper. And he's like, I have documentation proving that I bought these puppies and blah, 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 blah. So my husband tells the cop, listen, and mind you guys, this was all through a fucking fence. Excuse my language. This was all through a fence in our backyard. So, you know, my husband goes, listen, I don't want no problems. All I said was, if you have documentations, you can show me. There was no need to call the cops. You didn't have to go that far. The guy goes, but those are my kids' dogs. And he goes, I understand that, but you didn't need to involve the cops. If you have documentation, you're telling the cops you have documentation, so why couldn't you just resolve that? Why couldn't you just start with that, you know? So the guy goes, I have documentation. They had a paper that showed that they purchased the puppies from a person that breed them. Again, we still don't even know what kind of puppies they are. But he paid apparently $300 for each of them, and he got 3. So one went to his brother, and 2 of them were for the kids because they have 3 kids or whatever. And he was just like, "This is the proof," and they showed pictures, and he's like, "Okay, I understand that." And you know, my husband explained everything to the cop, how we found these dogs, and they were outside, and they were dehydrated. I mean, we weren't the ones who said they were dehydrated. We went to Petco And the lady quickly was like, these dogs haven't ate. Like, they haven't ate, they're dehydrated, yada, yada, yada. You know, we're the ones who knocked on their door. We knocked around trying to see whose dogs these were, and nobody knew whose dogs they were. So, I mean, you know, say what you want, but you only had these puppies for 3 days and you lost them in an hour. So really quickly, guys, I do want to explain something. I do mean puppies. I know I keep saying dogs, but I assure you I mean puppies. So the cop looks at the man and says, "Sir, did this really happen?" And he goes, "I only left for an hour. I left the gate open and the dogs got away. How is that my fault?" They're 4-week-old puppies, okay? That's the problem. They should not be left outside. Like, did these people explain to you how to take care of puppies? Because, you know what I mean? And then the kids came outside again and tried giving the cop the same guilt treatment. But, you know, the cop has to abide by the law. And he pretty much said, you know, he looks at my husband and goes, "I can't fight with documentation," which is very true. That part I do understand. He can't fight with documentation, but the cop did tell the guy, "You are very lucky," because that is considered mistreatment to an animal. You can't do that, you know, and we had pictures of when we first found them, so we had proof too. Apparently they did already get their first shots and whatnot, but the guy was like, saying that I didn't want no problems, you know, you just came at me. And he's like, no. My husband was like, you started swearing. He's like, sir, I'm in the Air Force. I can't start random problems and fights with people. I can lose what I have. And once he said that, you guys, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I had no idea. You know, those are my babies. Those are for my babies. And you know, they love those puppies and blah, 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 blah." And, you know, my husband got mad because it's like, you shouldn't be extra nice just because military, like, you know, like, why does that matter if you cuss at me or not? I could be a regular civilian. I mean, I'm a civilian. He's military. And you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't disrespect. You shouldn't. It doesn't matter. And, you know, the cop just said to the guy, like, "You're pretty much lucky." Like, give him that look, like, he is lucky. Apparently, the cop told my husband that we can actually take them to court to fight for, I guess, custody of the puppies. But I told my husband it's not worth it. Like, these little ratchet people, I'm sorry, I can say that. I've been ratchet too before. These ratchet people, they have no sense. And you know what? At the same time, I'm a little happy because, well, I thought the puppies weren't going to be separated. They ended up getting separated the moment they got them. Yeah, it's just been, it was crazy, you know. My husband had to come in one by one and grab the puppies. The father grabbed them from the fence and gave one to each kid and told them to get in the house. The cop left, and, you know, he apologized to us of what's going on. So my husband was trying to talk to the man at the fence and tell him, "Listen, just make sure they get their shots done, you know, because they're still due for certain shots." And pretty much, like, you know, we were trying to tell him, he told them they're puppy pad trained. They go by names already. I'm sure they had names already for them. And he pretty much told him, like, you know, like, we have puppy pads and whatnot. The guy was not trying to hear it. He was just like, yeah, I got it. Like, really, really rude. And my husband was like, you know what? I'm not gonna help him. Like, whatever. So that's pretty much what happened. So then, you know, hormonal me starts crying. Like, crying. ridiculously crying. I mean, I'm kind of upset at how much I cried too. But like, you guys gotta understand, I'm with these puppies 24/7, you know, while my husband's away at work. I take care of them. They're my little babies. Yes, I got attached to them. That's besides the point. But the fact is, they're going right back to the persons that just, in my mind, mistreated them. And I was not okay with that. And it bothered me to the core. But at this point, there was nothing we could do. There was nothing we could do. And that was pretty much that. So we left to go hiking. And right when we came back, and if you watched my previous video, I explained how we missed the food truck festival because yada yada yada. Well, we come back and the kids are outside with both the puppies and they're running around the yard. You can see them. And I kid you not, I wish I was exaggerating. I kid you not. The father screams at the kids and says, "Get your fucking asses inside with those dogs right now," because he saw us coming out the car, whatnot. And you guys, there are neighbors in the back. I've explained this when we found the puppies. So the front of their house, he has to go to the next street over. It's kind of far, but he screamed at his kids, "Get your fucking asses in this house and bring those puppies in here." I was livid. Like, there is no reason to talk to your kids that way. Like, you want to talk to us that way? Fine, be my guest. But don't talk to your kids that way. Like, you really think we're gonna jump the fence and take those puppies back? Like, you got the puppies, you called the cops, you made this big deal over nothing, whatever. You know, had it been me, because I had to look at it at both sides of the story. Had someone had puppies I paid for, I would have pulled out documentation right away. And had they not given to me, then I would have called the cops. I wouldn't have called the cops right away. There's no need. All you had to do was show papers. But, you know, people don't think. They just want to react with their mouths. So he screams at the kids to come in. They go in. Then that night, they had lights on in their yard and in their house the whole entire night. And when I tell you guys, it be pitch black in the whole area, even where they're at in the back. It's so pitch black that I have to turn on 2 different lights just to see my dog outside. So I was just a little confused, like, why are there lights on? But I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna be nosy. It is what it is, you know? So the next day, I take Gabe, the big dog, outside. I just take him outside, open the door, let him do his thing, and the kids are outside with the puppies. They're running around. So again, the father comes out, and it's like 7 in the morning, you guys. The father comes out, and he screams, "Get your asses inside, what the fuck are you doing?" Like I said, I wish I was exaggerating, because I wouldn't exaggerate about this. Like, this is stupid stuff. Like, why would I make up this? But I was just like, whoa. Like, dude, it is not that serious. So, you know, the moment Gabe went outside too, so I'm just, in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe they really do think that we're gonna steal the puppies. Like, that's stupid. Why, you know? So I leave my dog out there, let him do his thing, because I'm not going to, like, I'm not gonna stoop down to their level. I'm not gonna sit here and every time my dog comes outside, you know, they have to run in. It just, I'm not gonna do that. So I left Gabe out there because I'm like, I don't want them to start thinking anything. Like, they're already doing the most. So I'm in the yard and I'm walking around with Gabe, and I noticed by the fence they put like crates and like they put crates down and like lawn chairs by the shed where we first found them, and kind of like stuff around the fence. So I'm just like, are you guys serious? Like, it's not, like, you have the puppies. They're acting like we had bad intentions. If anything, you should be thanking us that you have those puppies back, because had it not been for us, you would not have puppies now. So later on that day, I took Gabe outside again, and the puppies were outside. I mean, this time I didn't go outside. I just let Gabe run around, do his thing, and the puppies were outside again. And I'm just like, okay, this can't be like, this can't be it's just happening too much now that once they got them. And it was probably just my mind, because I'm like, you know, I'm still bitter about the whole situation or whatnot. So I let Gabe outside. I didn't even go out there, and I hear yelling happening, and they're screaming at the puppies because the puppies saw Gabe and ran to the fence and were whining and barking, and Gabe started barking and whining, and they were just not having it. I want to show you guys. Milani is like doing it big, girl. Let me look at this. This blush is pretty. The only thing with this is it doesn't really show my skin tone. I have to put it on a bright color, but that's just a side note. But going back to the story, the puppies were whining and they were pretty much, they wanted Gabe, and the people were not happy about that. So I go out there because I'm like, no one's gonna scream at my dog unless it's me, you know? And the next thing you know is the puppies are away from the fence and they're spraying something at the fence. I mean, they could have just been spraying weed killer because there's a lot of weeds on the fence, like in between both fences. But they started spraying the entire fence, and I was just like, all right, you know, do what you need to do, but you need to be careful, because if those puppies get to those weeds and eat that, then that's it. It's a wrap. So they spray that. Gabe's whining. I decided to bring Gabe inside because at this point there's nothing we can do. And you know, once again, the brother was outside this time. He sees me. He doesn't say anything, you know, whatever. Not that I would say anything back. Then the father is outside. He sees me, and once again he yells to the kids, bring those fucking dogs inside. So I was just waiting. I stood out there because at this point I'm like, I want him to say something to me because you're being ridiculous. Like, we didn't steal your dogs. My lips are so trapped. I shouldn't even have put lipstick on, but whatever. You're being ridiculous at this point. No one stole your dog. Like, we saved them, if anything, you know? And now you're just teaching your kids how to be petty and bitter like you. So it was just so annoying. It was frustrating. And then he stood out there and I'm looking at him, and he went in the house, and I'm like, all right, this is ridiculous, you know? But now the problem that we're having is every time we bring Gabe out there, he runs over to that fence because he can smell the puppies. And it's just sad, guys. It really is. My heart is broken because I know I explained in the video before of how when we found the puppies that I would not give the puppies back to whoever they belong to. And I still stand by that. However, I had no choice, you guys. I had no choice. Like, the cops were just, I mean, even that cop, he was not trying to have us, not that he was not trying to have us give the puppies back, but if it was up to him, he would have not had us done that. And I know that because he was like really, like, you've had the puppies for 3 days and they're 4 weeks old and you don't know how to take care of them. Like, it's just so annoying. And it sucks because I know these puppies are gonna grow up being rough, like rough. Ooh, I know these puppies, like, they're just, I don't really know, but I'm just assuming, you know. But it is what it is. And I'm really heartbroken by it because, you know, we went out and took care of these puppies and we didn't have to. I didn't have to sit here and do that. I could have easily brought them to the MSPCA or whatever you want to call it, like everyone else told me. I mean, everyone told me to bring them to the shelter. You're pregnant, bring them to the shelter. What are you doing? Well, what I'm doing is saving puppies' lives. That's what I'm doing because I cannot, you know, bring them to the shelter. But now I wish I would have, because now I just wish I would have, you guys, because now they're back to the square one people who didn't give two shits about them. And I know some of you are probably gonna watch this video and be like, Crystal, you're over dramatic, but it's not that. It's the fact it's like, I don't even know what it is. I'm just upset because at this point there's nothing I can do. There's absolutely nothing I can do, and that frustrates me. I mean, there is, like the cop said I can go to court, but it's always gonna be documentation over facts. I absolutely love the smell of this. I don't know if any of you have this Tarte, but I only have like a little bit left. Alright guys, this is pretty much the finished product. I went to the bathroom to get some better lighting. Just did some highlight. I do have some crusty ass eyelashes on. I just realized that I still have glue stuck to them. But I mean, it is what it is. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time guys, bye. So I just wanted to show you guys a little behind the scenes. This is what happens when I don't do my makeup for a long time and it was still packed in there from when I was on my trip. And then I decided to do it because I'm making a video. And then this is what happens when Gabe gets lazy, which is all the time.